Hey guys, it's Leann Small Town Stitches and welcome back to Flosstube 134. It's May 1st. We're in the 5th month of the year already, so that's just crazy to me. So I hope everyone is doing well. Happy spring. It's definitely spring outside right now. It is gloomy and it's been raining all day. So I have today off of work, so I figured this would be a perfect opportunity to film. I actually had today off work because my daughter's spring concert is today. So the way her school does it is the spring concert, the official concert, is at night. But then they have a dress rehearsal during the day that they encourage like as many people as possible to come because you don't need tickets. But you do need tickets for the night one. And they give 2 tickets. That's it. 2 tickets out per family. And then you can, the extras are like a first come, first serve. So Brent's parents generally come during the day one because his dad and stuff is retired. And then my parents typically come to the night one because they are at work during the day. So my dad can't come today because he's finishing his diaconate stuff, which he's finished with next month already. I have to still frame his thing. So my mom will be coming tonight. So we're going to go to the dress rehearsal and then we're going tonight. So it's like smack dab in the middle of the day. So I just took today off. So I have a couple days off this month for school things that are coming up, which we'll get into on life. But a big thing that happened today is we got our new air conditioning unit. They literally just left. It took them a whopping hour and a half to get everything done. So we will not be sweating to death this summer. So such a blessing. I didn't like writing that check, but it's such a blessing at the same time. So I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you had a great last of April. It's been, I think, about 2 weeks or so since we've chatted. So, yeah, we have 6. So we have 7 projects to talk about today. One I was really hoping was going to be a finish, but like I said, this is perfect time right now to film. So I guess we'll have a finish in the next video. So, okay. Like I said, I have my notes here. So if I'm looking down, this is what I'm looking at. This is kind of how I plan. So let's just get started. I have nowhere to set anything right now. Let me shuffle some things aside. Okay, so the first one we're going to start with is the first one we always start with, which is my focus piece for this year. I'm hoping to have it done. Actually, I think it's on track to be done in November. So this is Halloween Night, my cropped version. This is, I believe, a Shutterstock from Tilton Crafts. I believe it is still available. So this is where we were in our last Flosstube. And since our last Flosstube, I've put 1,600 stitches in. And here we are right now. So we started before this rotation of 38.19%, and I'm at 84.45% now. Remember that includes the whole other like half that I've cut out. So as you can see, this dark line, I'm done. So after this row that I'm on right now, I have 2 full rows, or 1 full row of pages left, which is 2 pages wide, and then I think some partials at the bottom. But here's where we are. We're not quite done with this diagonal. What I've started doing is working the diagonal across. So this is already into the 2nd page and the 1st. So I'm just working the diagonal across the whole 2 pages in this row, and then I'll go down to the next one. So that's why it's taking a little bit longer. But there we are. This is on a 20 count, 2/1 full cross with DMC. This is my oldest project as of right now as well. So we don't have that much more to go. I'll bring it in really close. That much more to go to finish this diagonal off, and then we'll move on to the next one. So it's looking really good. I can't wait to have it done though. So another big thing that happened with this particular piece with Halloween night is I am officially under 20,000 stitches to get this piece finished. I think today when I put in my 100 stitches that I did this morning, I'm at like 19,730 left to go. So it's under 20,000, which is really exciting. So if you are new, I am mainly a full coverage stitcher. I love full coverage and I'm not scared of big projects. But I also want to see progress on them as well and start things at the same time. Like I'm in this thing where I do want to finish things and I do want to see a lot of progress, but I'm also not afraid to start more things at the same time. Okay, next up is my 2-week focus, my second one from April, right? Yes, which is Christmas House 2. This is by Artisy. I'm doing this one 1/1 on a 20 count with CXC. This is where we were when we started our 2-week focus. So we started at 0.44%, and I only worked on it one time. I started this in December, and I got 1,802 stitches in, and here we are now. I'll bring it in a little bit more. We're ending it at 1.24%. So I feel like we got quite a bit done. There's going to be a chimney starting, I believe, like over here for the house, but I'll bring it back because it's blowing it out. We're just all in this snowy tree right now. So this was nice because it had block stitching, but then you had confetti because it's not just like one straight color throughout here. So it was really, really nice. It was a good one because my 2-week focus pieces get about 150 a day is kind of what I'm doing right now. So gosh, it looks so good, and I can't wait to watch this one come to life. So that was my 2-week focus on that one. And then I had gotten FOMO, fear of missing out, and I heard Bonnie doing this, and then I believe Alicia jumped on the bandwagon, and I was like, well, I want to do this too. So that was to do one strand a day on a project. So I was sitting here thinking, and I was like, what do I want to do this on? So I chose my 2023 Christmas signs from Shannon Christine's. I got this when it was the monthly club. And I'm working on the particular third block. So I showed this, I think, in my last video. So I'm going to go ahead and put a picture up of where we were in the last video. And then I got 801 stitches in the last 2 weeks of doing just one strand a day. And this is where we are on it now. So yeah. This particular block, because each block goes in by itself into Pattern Keeper, this particular block is at 63.34%. So I'm going to actually put it in down here of where it was at the beginning of the month. And then I'll show you also where we are now. So doing a strand a day has done a lot for this project, and I think you can see more on it because it's not full coverage. So it's unfortunately getting put aside. This is on an 18 count vintage country mocha with the DMC that you can do, the alternate version of it. And why I am very excited to keep going on this, I've decided to put this on pause. We'll jump into plans for a minute. I'm going to sub this out for my home prayer. It is available on Etsy. I will link it below. I had a couple people asking where they could get it. So I will go ahead and link it below. And I just did my own conversion for the words and the flowers. Now, why am I switching this out? Because this particular piece has, I already did the math on it and I can't remember. But anyways, I could have it done in like 2 months doing a strand a day. It's at like 30 something percent, the entire piece, whereas this is like 63% just this block. So I'm going to pause this for a strand a day, and I'm going to switch over to my home prayer, I think. And when my home prayer is done, I will switch back to this one, I think is what I'm thinking. So that way I'm still making progress. It's moving some of these things along towards a finish. Although, if I'm being 100% honest with you, I stink at finishing things. Like, I need a professional finisher to just come in and take my box of things and finish all of my projects for me, because I'm not very good at it. Okay, next up, we're going to do my new start that I had in the last 2 weeks. I think I actually started it in my last video, but I only had 100 stitches, but this one requires a little bit of talking and a story. So this is Magical Forest Lights. It's by Stitches So Beautiful. This was the freebie chart that was for, I don't remember which month. One of the months this year. I don't remember. And I loved it. So we started this for Dawn Marie, DM Crafty Vortex's birthday. Myself, of course, Dawn Marie, Lacey, who is a Sleepy Stitcher, and Stace, who is Stace Stitches, all started this in April, I almost said May, for Dawn's birthday. This was my first time I was going to try 25 count. And I discovered I really like 25 count. Now, if you remember past Leann, multiple videos back, I hated 25 count. I tried so hard and I hated it. And I don't know what's different, except for when I had tried it the first time, I was strictly mostly an 18 count stitcher, diving a little bit into 20. Well, since then, I've done 22, which 22 count Hardanger leans more towards an even weave than it does towards an Aida, at least how it's structured. So then when I tried 25 count, it didn't seem like much of a struggle, and I don't even need magnifiers for it. So I started at 1/1 with CXC full cross, and I quickly decided I didn't like that. I think if it was DMC 1/1 full cross, I would like it. It just felt really bulky to me with CXC, because CXC is a little bit thicker. So I decided, after talking to Rainey, Alicia, and Catherine, and Erica, to switch it midway after like 100 and something stitches. I was like, okay, so I tried 2/1 tent, and apparently this is the project that made things click for my brain, because I really enjoyed that too. 2/1 tent with CXC is what I did. So this is Magical Forest Lights. I've done 1,014 stitches. And here we are. You guys, this is tent stitching. I never thought I would say that. It's tent stitching for me. And I'm at 0.63%. So if you bring it in really, really close, that's what it blows it out. But I had some full up here, and then I switched and stuff. I can see a little bit to me, but it's so good. So this is, if I do anything with 25 count with CXC, it will have to be 2/1 tent, because I don't like the way the 1/1 is. If I have DMC, then sure, I'll do 1/1 full cross, but I don't think I'll do it with CXC. So here's where we are on the Magical Forest Lights. It was so fun. It went so fast, which was crazy to me, that I was like, I'm done already? Okay. This got a little bit difficult, like especially down here. You can definitely feel those color changes, where it feels over here. There's a lot of color changes in here. The back is not as pretty as if it would have been full cross, but that's okay. It's fun. So First time doing 25 count and first time doing tent stitch. Who am I? Don't even know. So then, because I enjoyed that so much, I decided I'm restarting Snape's library, which, if you remember, we started the libraries back in January, and I was doing mine 1/1 full cross and a 20 count, which was absolutely enormous. I showed you guys a couple videos back the difference, and I decided to try 25 count. And I decided to try 25 count on this before I even had tried Magical Forest. I ordered it. And everyone's like, well, what happens if you don't like it? And I'm like, well, I don't know. So I tried it and I loved it. So I restarted Snape's library, all 939. This has so much 939. First of all, Snape's library is an 800 by 800 from the Cross Stitch Studio. It's big. So we restarted, and here is my restart. This is, I'm gonna hit myself in the head. This is one page. So I made it to the end of one page. So this is all 939. Yes, it's in a Q-snap. Who am I? I'm able to lean this against my desk when I'm working and do it so I don't have to hold this. I can't hold Q-snaps. They hurt my wrists after a while, which is why I stopped using them. It's too big, I've noticed, for my Lowry table clamp. I don't know if anybody else has any other ideas. This is an 11 by 17. It is a little bit big. I think I would have preferred an 11 by 11 for this, so I may check into that instead. But this is my 1,000 stitches of all 939, 2/1 tent on a 25 count with CXC, and it is at a whopping 0.16%. So there you go. I have it still on the Q-snap for right now, and it absolutely does not fit into the project bag that I made. I thought this was perfect for Snape. Okay, 2 more to go. This is the one I was really hoping to have finished. It's not. Let me take this off the hoop really fast so I can show you guys the full piece. This is my Empyrean Sal. Our last piece was actually released Monday. So what, 3 days ago now? And I've stitched on this a lot. I mean, when I say I stitched on this a lot, I've done 2015 stitches since my last video. So I have the last thing. I'm caught up on all of them. I'm on the last thing now. So this is where we were when you guys last saw it. It's not ironed because I'm not done working on it. Ready to see it? Here we are now. So I finally finished Taran. What else have we done? I don't even remember what I think I finished these. You'll be able to see. I'll put a picture up. This is Andarna. We have some of the runes. That's what these are supposed to be. And then I have the last quote down here. I don't have a board. I'm not that fancy. The quote is going to go here and then here. And then I'm done. This will be a finish. So, super excited about that. I love the way this looks. This is going to have to be figured out and hung up, I think, in my craft room office area. So, this was from Forbidden Fiber Co. from Leann, and I highly recommend. So, I'm hoping to finish that up. It will be finished by the next time you guys see me, but I'm hoping maybe to finish it today or tomorrow. Okay, so my last one, I wasn't going to show it to you, but I'll show it to you anyways because I don't need to wait till I'm done with my rotation to show you. This is my 1,000 spin. This is Cigar Box by Tilton Crafts. I started the piece at 11.81%. I've done 790 stitches so far, so I only have 210 left to go, which doesn't take me too long. I mean, it takes me a good chunk, but a lot of this is more blocky. That's as of what I'm in right now, so it tends to go a little bit faster. But here we are now. I'm at 12.52%. So, just working on my diagonals. So this is the page. And I think the page is, I don't know. I think I'm going to do this one by page instead of across the whole thing. So like I said, I got 210 left to do on this rotation, then we get to spin our 1,000 wheel again. We're getting closer to getting to the point where we get to restart that wheel, which is exciting. But I have 2 new starts, possibly 3 in May. We'll see. So, and that is all my stitching that I've done since you guys have last seen me. Like I said, I do have 2 for sure stitches new coming up this month. I have my Shannon Christine coming up, which is the Home of the Free. I'm working on that one with Lacey and Dawn Marie. We are starting that one, I believe, on Memorial Day. And I think I have Memorial Day off of work, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll be starting that one. And then I will be starting Mini Orion Nebula from Heaven and Earth Designs this month for Stace's birthday. I need to get a hold of her. I'm not exactly sure which day I'm starting that on. I just know I'm starting it in May. And then we will see, Mother's Day is the 11th, I believe, here in the US. So I may start We're All Right, the cropped version from the Cross Stitch Studio, because it makes me think of me and my daughter. We'll have to see on that one. So, yes. But like I said, we're getting to the end of our 1,000 rotation wheel, which means we get to restart it again soon, which is exciting. When my Empyrean Sal is done, I'll go ahead and insert my wheel. I kind of changed it up a little bit after talking to Alicia. So my wheel now is everything that is under 75,000 stitches. I don't remember if it's under 75 left to go or under 75,000 period. I think it was under 75,000 period that went on this. And what I'm going to do is do a daily 100 on it when the Empyrean Sal is done. And my goal is to move some of these smaller ones along and see hopefully more progress on them faster, which also gets them they go off of my 2-week rotation and they go off of my 1,000 rotation. They will strictly be on this wheel. As of now, the plan is to not let any of them black out, to just do a completely randomized spin. That may change if I notice that certain ones are being picked all the time and other ones aren't being picked. I think there's 13 on there right now. So I'm excited to see how this works and to see if this helps move some along a little bit. And if you see the numbers on it, that was Alicia's idea, and that way we can kind of just watch the numbers go down on it. So it's exciting. But like if they say like 75.2, that's like 75,200-ish is how I did it for my brain. So, okay. Do you guys want to know my next 2-week focus project? So I told you that we're switching out the 1 strand a day, which takes me like 5-10 minutes. So I don't really count that for anything. My next 2-week focus that I have spun is an Artisy. I do the Artisy version, the medium size, and that is God Shed His Grace. And that is my next 2-week focus. So I'm very excited about that. So yes, I'm very excited about that one. Okay. I think that's all my stitching. We talked about May new starts. I have a new floss tuber for you guys to check out. If you've heard me talk multiple times about Abby from Cross and Crafts, I love her. She's got fantastic customer service. It costs me a bunch in shipping when I order from her, because she is in the UK. But she has absolutely phenomenal customer service. And Abby started her own Flosstube channel. So go check out Abby, tell her hi, and welcome her to the cross stitch community. So she's got a lot of beautiful projects. Haul. So I decided to place some fabric order with Stitchery Express, which I've used multiple times before, and they're all 25 counts. But something different happened this time when I ordered them, and I'm 100% here for it. So before, she's put them in just like a cellophane bag with the like invoice on them that has your measurements on it, right? So if you order 4 pieces of fabric, there's 4 pieces in the bag, and the measurements are on there, but you have to do the measuring to figure out which piece is for which, right? She did something different this time. I almost want to like email them and be like, I think I'm going to, about how amazing this is. It came like this. They're all individually wrapped, but not only are they individually wrapped, they're labeled 25 count E. And then she gave you the dimensions. And then she gave you the dimensions for every single project. You guys, I was able to just grab my thing and write on them. So this piece, 25 count, easy count, 23 by 28, that is what I need for the Sunflower Inn that I'm starting in June. This piece is 20 by 16. This is going to be for a restart of my one to rule them all by Tilton Crafts. I'm restarting this because it is so dark. There was a lot of bleed through. I'm doing 1/1 on 20 count. So I will be restarting that one. This will make a lot of people happy. This is a 19 by 19, and it is for Mini C Opal. This I have all the DMC for, so this will be a 1/1 full cross. And this will be being restarted soon. And then this is a 22 by 22 for the Celestial Sky. So I have, like, it's so nice. They're all right here, and I can just put them away and they're ready to go. Why are you asking that I'm getting all this ready? I am going to try for the second half of this year to do a no buy. My only exception, I'm allowed to buy a gift for somebody, like a gift card if it's someone's birthday, or I'm allowed to buy a floss if I need it or I'm running out. That's it. And then if I buy floss, if it's DMC, I can go to Michael's. But if it's CXC, I'm going to try to be intentional about where I am spending my money and buy them from a small business, whether that be Abby or anything else. That is my goal, is to try to be more intentional about where my money is going if I do spend it. So that is my haul. We'll talk some life, and then I'll go into some audiobooks that I've been listening to. I know not everybody is here for book talk, but I have been listening to a lot of audiobooks. So life. Life is insane here right now, which I think I feel a lot of parents probably feel like that right now, because we are like, let's see, 30 something days, like 30 days left, something of school left. We finished June 6th and it's May 1st. So, it's craziness right now with school stuff. So, like I said, including other things going on, we had our new AC unit installed today. That was painful to write that check, but thank the Lord, it'll be nice and cool in our house in the summertime, because if this summer is anything like last summer, it was very warm, which actually may end up saving us money monthly on our bill, because it's a newer AC unit. It's not working as hard because it's not on its last breath of air. and we don't have to run additional like portable units to try and keep the house cool. So that was installed today. Next week, Brent and I believe his partner at work are going to redo our deck. I was going to take a couple days off work, but his partner volunteered to help him. If you don't know kind of how EMS and stuff work, it's called a partner because you have to have two people that work on an ambulance, right? So it's a partner. They have them and their partner. So he, I think, is coming to help Brent like Thursday, Friday. I'm off Saturday, Sunday, of course, but we'll have to see. So our deck's going to be redone next week. There was no more limping it along. We're hoping that the frame is still decent after it needs to be like re-leveled just from heaving. But the whole entire top has to be replaced. Her spring concert is tonight. That's the singing one. And it is, we have to leave in like an hour actually for the dress rehearsal. So, and then let's see, in 2 weeks we have her band concert, her first band concert. And then we have her mini society thing. So that's their way of teaching economics at her school. And it's actually really cool because they have to come up with like a business plan and figuring out how much their items are going to cost and how much they have to budget for this and like all this. It's actually kind of cool. And the amount of work that it goes into if you're doing a business or if you're selling something, an item. So the 21st, the parents go and shop and buy things. So there's that. And then that night, she was so excited, you guys. I wish I would have had it on video, but I didn't. She freaked out screaming. She got a letter from the school that night that she is going to be receiving like an award for making the honor roll. She, of course, we're in the 4th marking period, so it's the other 3. She's hit A honor roll for 1 semester and A B honor roll for 2. So I'm very proud of my kid. It's just a lot going on right now. So yeah. Other than that, it's just been normal for me, you know, except for everybody else being chaotic around us. Couple weeks ago, you guys may get a kick out of this. I'll actually put a video after I talk about it. I just gave my husband breakfast. We just dropped Bella off at band at school, made breakfast for my husband when we came home. We gave him his breakfast, and then his fire pager went off, and his captain, you know, was reporting a car fire down the road, like not even a half a mile. So I came to tell Brent, and he was sitting in a different room, not by the window. And I was like, hey, there's a car fire down the road. And he's like, okay. And I look out our front window, and I was like, fire. And he's like, yeah, you just told me that. I'm like, no, fire. And I pointed out whoa, that was really close to the camera. I pointed out the window, and that was the exact same moment his captain was like, nope, it's on this road. And it was on our road. So like, it was literally right in front of our neighbor's house that this car was on fire. So he didn't get to eat breakfast. He ran outside, you know, and stuff. And the guy lives a half mile the other direction and got in his car and said that he started smelling smoke and thought someone was burning leaves. But then he was like, that's not a leaf smell, and saw flames and smoke start coming from underneath his truck. So he quickly pulled off onto our road, and his whole truck just caught on fire. So I'm going to go ahead and put a picture. I'll put a picture of it. Like, I'll put a couple pictures and then my husband actually putting the fire out. So, like, that was a blessing because the guy the subdivision he lives in is pretty close together for the houses. So it would have been really easy for a house to catch on fire and additional houses to catch on fire. The guy was so nice, my husband said. Like, he was never angry at them or whatever. He kept apologizing that they had to work, that my husband missed his breakfast. Like, he was so nice. And then he was like, well, I'm just going to walk back home. my husband was like, well, where do you live? And he told him, he's like, it was cold that day too. He's like, you're not going to walk home. Give me like 2 seconds and I will like take you home when we're done. So my husband ran him back to his house afterwards. But it was just one guy on his way to work, so he's safe. As much as it stinks sometimes, items are replaceable, people are not. So, but yeah, wasn't planning on getting to watch my husband work that morning. Okay, let's talk books I've listened to. So I finished the one I started talking about in my last Flosstube video, which is My Grandfather Would Have Shot Me. And it is a girl discovering that she is the granddaughter of a pretty high-profile Nazi. And it was an interesting story. I finished it. Like, I can't even imagine ever discovering this. I personally wouldn't have. I have lost a lot of family members. If you don't know, I am Polish. My maiden name is Polish. And my great grandparents came from Poland. And so I've actually, if you look up both sides of my family, because I'm Polish on both sides of my family, 3 of my 4 grandparents were Polish. If I look up my mom's maiden name and my maiden name, so my mom's married name, I lost actually a lot of possible relatives in concentration camps, probably due to being work ordered. So I don't have that connection with like discovering it like a Nazi is it. Like I have the other one is I'm discovering possible relatives that I never knew that had been killed. But I just felt like the book could have been shorter. I just felt like it, like a lot of things just kept being reiterated in a different way that I was just like, okay, we've already covered this. You know, it wasn't bad, and I don't ever want to negate and say someone's story is bad, but I just felt like a lot of it was repeated, if that makes any sense. So the next book I listened to, and I do a lot of listening. I know a lot of people don't count that as reading because I'm not technically reading, but I do a lot of audiobooks because I listen while I'm working. If I'm obviously not on the phone with a hospital or a doctor's office, a lot of my stuff is on the computer, so I just listen while I'm working. And that is called The Berlin Apartment, and that is by, I think it's Bryn Turnbull. I really enjoyed this book. It's about the Berlin Wall and dividing East and West Germany, which I also have a connection with. You guys might weird. So it's a story about a couple and being divided by the Berlin Wall. So if you're curious as to my connection with it, I was actually born in Germany. I have U.S. citizen parents. My dad was in the U.S. Air Force, stationed at the Ramstein Air Force Base over there. And when I was born, it was still divided into East and West Germany. So I was born in West Germany. So I tell my daughter I was born technically in a country that no longer exists because it's just Germany now. So I really liked that book, though. I highly recommend. And I am finishing, and by finishing, I mean I have like 3% left of this book, and that is Throne of Glass. I have, like I said, 3% left. I actually really liked this book. I can't wait to start on number 2. I think I have it on hold from Libby. I think I have to wait a little bit. I don't think it's available for me to download yet. I have a couple already that are ready for me to download, ready for me to start. So I will be finishing this. I've actually not watched a lot of Flosstube lately because I've been listening to Throne of Glass so much, and then the Berlin Wall before that, or the Berlin Apartment. I've been in a really big audiobook kick lately. So I do want to address this. If I typically watch you and watch your Flosstube and I don't comment, please don't think I'm not watching you. chances are I'm either A, stitching when I'm watching you, or B, working, and I forget to leave comments. I probably am doing something while I just feel bad. I just feel like if I usually watch you and I don't leave a comment, it's not that I've stopped. It's just that I was doing something else at the same time. So I think that's it. Y'all, I've rambled for a long time. I feel like I've had a lot to say this time. So I'm hoping to be back in 2 weeks. Hoping. School stuff is just a little bit crazy this month, but it may be a little bit longer. We'll have to see. I'm going to try to be back in 2 weeks. It actually makes it so it's a lot less to talk about and a lot easier to plan for me coming back every 2 weeks. So I think that's all I had to say. Go check out Abby's channel if you haven't. I would leave a list of all the Flosstubers that I love, but I don't know if it's big enough, but they're so amazing. There's a lot of amazing Flosstubers out there that you should go check out. So I think that's it from me. So I'm going to go ahead and get off of here. Remember, your mental health is important, and to take time for yourself each and every day and to be a light to the world around you. I will see you guys later. Bye.